Human rights lawyer Deji Adeyanju on Friday retracted the alleged defamatory statements made against the acting national chairman and the acting national secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Umar, Damagum, and Senator Samuel Anyanwu. Adeyanju, in a letter dated December 6, written from his law firm Deji Adeyanju and Partners and signed by Zainab Ortega, tendered an apology for the defamation. Ortega, in a letter addressed to Johnson Usman, SAN, counsel for Damagum and Anyanwu, said the statements were not intended to defame your clients. She further maintained that any perception of defamation in the state statements is regretted and withdrawn with apologies. The letter reads, "We are solicitors to Deji Adeyanju, ESQ, hereinafter referred to as our client, on whose instruction we act. Our client received 2 letters from the law firm of the Revered Senior Advocate of Nigeria, J.J. Usman, alleging that some statements he made on a podcast a few weeks ago were deemed defamatory of Damagum and Anyanwu, the national chairman and secretary of the PDP, respectively. Our client's statements on the podcast were taken out of the bigger context of the conversation, which is the need for the leadership of the People's Democratic Party to provide a virile opposition to the ruling party. These statements were not intended to defame your clients, and any perception of defamation in the said statement is regretted and withdrawn with apologies. Recall that Adeyanju had on Wednesday accused Damagum of serving tea and Anyanwu of serving kilishi in the house of President Bola Tinubu's Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila. He made the claims while disclosing Tinubu's plans to install a PDP presidential candidate ahead of the 2027 general elections. Adeyanju claimed the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, and Damagum are Tinubu's moles in the PDP. He said, the current PDP is in Wike's pocket at the national level. He installed the current PDP national chairman, who goes to serve tea in Femi Gbajabiamila's house. While Damagum is serving tea, PDP's national secretary, Sam Anyanwu, goes to the kitchen to serve kilishi. They are the people in charge of the PDP. These are Tinubu's moles, just like Abure in Labour Party, who is an APC mole. There is no opposition. That's why nobody is challenging the system. Apart from a few of us, who else is talking? Adeyanju says. What do you make of this statement? First of all, the accusation by Adeyanju and the consequent retraction and apology when he was written to.
I think that is the highest level of maturity. He knew that he had made an hyperbolic statement against these 2 persons. And when he was
hyperbolic statement,
that is bigger than what was available, bigger than what was the reality. You understand? Now, when the lawyers wrote to him, possibly he realized himself, and instead of him to begin to say, yes, I'm right, and other things, he was not able to prove where was the picture where Anyanwu was serving kilishi.
And Damagum 70.
Damagum 70. Is it Arabian tea? Is it coffee? There was no proof. And if there was no proof, he's sending himself, walking majestically to prison. And he quickly realized himself, possibly by the letter written from their lawyers. And what is the next thing? You have to kill your pride before your pride kill you. And that is why he tendered an apology. I did something sometimes ago. A member representing Obukunri, the federal constituency in the House of Representatives. He is my brother, but I was fighting politically with him, and some people gave me information, gave me wrong information about him, and immediately I enter a newspaper, I publish something against him. But immediately, somebody read it and said, no, that thing you published is not like that. So I confirmed, and I discovered it was not like that. I called the newspaper again, and I said, I made mistake and I acted based on wrong information. I tender my unreserved apology to my brother, member representing us. And that settles all. there is anything I say against you and I cannot prove it, and you cautioned me or your lawyer cautioned me, the next thing, if I am not sending myself to prison for defamation of character, the next thing is to kill my pride. Before my pride kill me, the Deji Adeyanju has done well.
All right, and you know that, and he still went for that to say a lot of. Now that even brings to mind a lot of things. This would I call it political activists, and some political analysts as well, and human rights activists, and all of that tend to say openly. Some of these things, can they be substantiated? Even on my show, when some analysts work, I will tell them, can you substantiate this? If you can't substantiate it, kindly withdraw that statement.
I was on your radio this morning, and some people were already making allegations that it was former governor of Rivers State, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, that sponsored the removal of Ugo Chinyere. And I asked, how did they know? Were they there when he planned
but
it?
You also alleged that it was sponsored, even though you didn't mention names. But you also alleged that it was sponsored.
It was sponsored, but not from outside River State, and not from outside Imo State. It was sponsored within Imo State, not River State. Ugo Chinyere is fighting a lot of battles.
But then let's not move to Ugo Chinyere, because we're talking about Adeyanju and apologizing to Damagum.
I've done justice to that. He has done the right thing.
Now I am speaking of some of that. This is just he said a lot of things.
Yes.
And he has been saying a lot of things,
yes,
actually. And it's just that these two individuals decided to take it up with him to prove the things he has said or apologize for defamation. Now, one would now begin to wonder a lot of things that Adeyanju has been saying. Good. Can he substantiate that?
Very good. If those things that I've been saying, those things that I've been alleging against some persons, if those people know that they are very clean, they should also write him. If you call me a thief, and I say, let me not talk, then I am a thief. I should take it up with you to come and prove it. So if you cannot prove it, you have any other thing than to tender apology. And you know that if you cannot tender apology, or you rescind on those statements, that means you know where it will take you to. Those people that they know that the Deji Adeyanju has spoken ill of them before, they should not bear it. They should call him to order.
To either prove it.
To either prove it or withdraw it.
Right.
That is it. I love Damagum and Anyanwu for their lawyer to have written to Deji Adeyanju, because if they have kept quiet, definitely a lot of people will believe that they are even cooking indomie in that place too.
All right.